All right, guys, so watch this video for the last trading day of April, which will be Monday, April 30th. I saw a bunch of you on Saturday. A whole bunch of people showed up. Now, normally I would be one of these people that would complain having to work on a Saturday, but talking stocks and furthering all of our education, I feel like I learn stuff from Wayne every time he puts one of these webinars on. So it was absolutely worth it. Looking forward to trading on Monday and maybe putting a little more money to work than I have been. Thanks to Wayne's inspiration. So anyway, if you were not there on Saturday, anyone who's ever taken our course is eligible to go to these refresher courses, continuing education, whatever you want to call it. We do those every quarter, and there's no charge if you've taken our course. So we had a whole bunch of people show up on Saturday. Always proud of the people that show up because you're taking your Saturday while other people are out doing whatever, and you're continuing your day trading education, which makes you a GTMI. If you've taken our course, you know what that means, right? So anyway, Saturday was fun. It went by really fast. We have gotten some really nice feedback already. I appreciate all the kind emails, all the kind comments on Saturday. If you've taken our course and you weren't there, you just log into our, the course website, and it's already up. Wayne's already posted the additional almost 5 hours from Saturday. So you go check it out, all right? Anyway, it was fun. Speaking of Wayne, I'm going to slide this over real quick. Before I get started on the watch list video, I just captured one of Wayne's calls. So if you weren't in chat on Friday or you left early, man, did Wayne make it worth staying around for a Friday afternoon trade. I just captured one of his posts, but he gave like 3 or 4 warnings before this thing triggered. That was just one, and I wanted to put it on there. Another one of Wayne's famous whole number inflection point entry calls, right? And you see this skinny line here? That was these are 5-minute candles. That was the earlier high of day. This thing was kind of flagging right below the whole number 8. Wayne spotted a seller at 8. Said, hey, guys, I like this through 8. We might have to give it 30 cents because it was spready. Man, look what happened. It just ripped. It actually ended up getting through 11 bucks, I believe. So what a great reason to hang out on a Friday afternoon, and another one of Wayne's great calls. Here, well, let's start with the SPY for the watch list for Monday. The SPY, again, I've got these 2 lines drawn because it just shows the range of the recent market. And where are we right now? We're just sitting right in the middle of that range. Total chop fest. But as you see from that post, we're doing a really good job of finding some good setups. So, if you can be there on Monday, be there on Monday. Here's what I'm watching. APRN. I was watching this one on Friday. Zoom in a little bit here. Had this kind of nice breakout on, somebody picked this on CNBC as their pick for a contest or something, I don't know. But you've got a lower volume, partial retrace of the breakout. So to me, it's still worth watching. Not giving up on it, no trades in it on Friday, but it might be a 3rd day play, where you get the breakout, the pullback, and then another rip. So certainly worth watching. Again, there were no trades in it on Friday. DRNA had this big pop here, but on an intraday basis, it gave back about half of it. And what's it been doing since? Chopping sideways. Red, green, just alternating days. But kind of a crystal clear recent high here, over 2140, maybe over 21, over 1240, or maybe through the half, 1250-ish. This one might break out again to the upside. So worth watching. AQMS. Now, I was putting this one on watch going into Friday. And Peter Rowe, in our chat room, posted the ID on this one in chat. Now, we all were already watching this because it was on the overnight list, right? But I loved Peter's idea because it looked like this. This was Thursday's high, right? 290. Then it also hit that again early on Friday. Peter types in chat, hey, what about AQMS over the 2-day high, over 290, right? Look what happens. So a great heads up, and I just love the teamwork in the chat. I'm trying to spend the lunchtime Q&A and chat every day highlighting at least one great call from a member so we can all, add that member to our hot list, right? So they show up in a separate window and we can get an audible alert when they post something. But not only that, that's not the only reason I do it. A lot of people make great calls in the chat room that maybe I didn't see. And so I want to highlight it for that reason, give other people credit, and then we can go over the setup during the lunchtime Q&A. And I've gotten a lot of feedback, positive feedback from since I started doing that. People really appreciate, hey, I never would have thought to look for that that setup or whatever. So we're trying to highlight at least 1 or 2 member calls a day, and hopefully together as a group learn from them. But anyway, like I said, this one was already on our watch list and had a really nice breakout through 290. Great heads up by Peter, and it ended up going. Let's go back to the daily. Ended up going all the way up to 356. Now I'm putting this back on watch because it basically on Friday broke this high from back in February, which was 324. So you could argue this long consolidation, and Friday technically was day one of a breakout, right? So we might get a red to green or some kind of setup where we get a follow through day. All right, that's AQMS. Let's go to GNPX. Now this thing's a little crazy. Went from 6 to over 18 in one day before giving back a lot of it, and then yesterday gaps up and closes green, meaning closing above the open. So I got to put that one on watch. It's definitely spready and kind of spooky, but we'll watch it. CHEK, I showed you if you weren't in chat on Friday afternoon, which a lot of people filter out. Showed you Wayne's great call. With this kind of range and recent action, got to have that one back on watch. It's not like I look at that chart and say, hey, here's where I want to get long. I'm in cash every night, and we watch these things trade on an intraday basis. Remember, guys, this list that I give you every night is meant to be traded on an intraday basis if we get one of our A+ setups the next day. And I tweeted my equity curve, if you didn't see it, if you follow me on Twitter. I tweeted that on Friday, going back from January 2017 till Friday, till the close on Friday. And the thing I'm proud of, and doesn't capture probably a lot of fanfare, just a slow, steady grind higher, right? Whereas I think a lot of day traders, their equity curve, even if they're green, even if they're a profitable day trader, is probably a lot more like someone with, an EKG from someone with a bad heart condition. I might have the wrong medical terms there. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I try not to have big swings. I try to grind it higher every day by being in cash every night and finding stuff to hopefully trade the next day on an intraday A+ setup. FCRE. I could never figure out what the volume was, but this thing, let me go to 5-minute candles. Just took off right out of the gate on Friday. This is one of those that I never chase, but I say, you know what? Hey guys, there may be some news here, and I never saw anybody post any news. I searched on 2 different sources, so I don't know what sparked this thing. It kind of felt like maybe a chat room pump or something, but it held up pretty well. It looked like it was going to make a late day run before rolling over at the end of the day. But with 6.4 million shares traded out of the blue on Friday, I'm gonna watch it. This is probably my least favorite going into Monday because I can't figure out why it popped, so I don't really trust it. Right? EYPT has had a really nice move from like $1.10, in 2 or 3 weeks to almost $2.80. So is it time to start watching it after one red day? Probably not, but sometimes things are so strong that you get one red day and you're right back up. What I would prefer is this thing to come down like another day, maybe down below $2, and then it's going to look really good on Tuesday. So we'll see. But I'm gonna put it on a chart for tomorrow, see what happens, see if it gives me a setup. And then DARE, D-A-R-E, had this really nice breakout, gapped up a little bit on Thursday, sold off most of Thursday and most of Friday. I don't love this one either, but I want to watch it. We will find some gappers in the morning, as we do always every morning, to add to this potential list. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see y'all in chat.